Hey, what's up guys? John here. What Microsoft, Meta, and the Walmart family just did right now says everything about the future of what is unfolding in the US economy, what's unfolding in the housing market, and what's going to happen with millions of people that own their properties. It's going to be the biggest shift of wealth that we've ever seen in America, without doubt. Let me show you. CNBC put this article out about 2 hours ago. Take a look inside a $1.1 million zero emissions home. Well, this is the woman's name, right? It says her home's the first to receive this label. So you just typed it into Google, and this is the woman, at least allegedly, this is the person. It's a very uncommon last name, very uncommon name, and located in Bentonville, Arkansas. I'm like, oh, isn't that where Walmart's located? Yes. Oh, what was her role before that? Oh, leadership at Walton. Walton is the Walmart family. So this woman is the first person to get this upgrade. I'm like, okay, well, very noble of her. Maybe she wanted to make things better for the environment. Who knows, right? I'm not going to speculate on that. But what I think is interesting is a couple hours ago, firms including Amazon to buy $180 million in these credits, and it came out the same exact day, 8:44 a.m. today, and the investors are Microsoft, Meta, right? And then you have H&M, Walmart. It's very interesting. So you can see kind of this push that's unfolding. But then you dig a little bit deeper and you'll see what's on the whitehouse.gov and how these dates align, and why I think we're walking into a scenario where it's going to be a major curveball for home insurance, for homeowners, at a time in which the job market has never been shakier and people are very, very, very insecure financially about what the future could hold, right? People are just not spending what they don't have to spend, right? That's what's happening. Well, they're going to be forced to, because these upgrades are going to rock the housing market. It's not speculation, it's facts. It's on the National Association of Home Builders website talking about these changes. So I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to give you the facts to help you and position you for what I believe is going to be the biggest shift of wealth in the U.S. housing market, real estate market, and the economy, and the largest corporations in America are getting prepped for it. What are the odds too? 2 years ago, March 14, 2022, and I actually covered this video talking about what they're going to be doing here, right here, right? They're investing $100 billion. This is the story that I covered back then, saying that, they're going to be, and it's a lot of the same companies, or $100 million right here. And it's Salesforce, Microsoft, Goldman, and Bezos, Amazon, right? All doing this. It's a major transition for housing in this country. A major transition. Please hit the like button. YouTube will share the content. You get more people about changes that are unfolding in the U.S. housing market and the economy. It's fascinating. In July, a report on the fall of Denver and the fall of Ohio, 2 months before the media. In 2023, I predicted federal rent control would come and food price controls would come to combat inflation. The White House is now working to make both of these law.
Passed the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
My incredible team provides tomorrow's news today. Only 30% of all viewers are subscribed. If you subscribe, the algorithm will reward the channel and we can expand and grow and hire more researchers. Thank you for simply clicking the red button to subscribe to the channel. Now on to the video. You look at Tom Steyer, for example. Tom Steyer, he ran for president, Democratic president in 2020. Obviously he did not win, right? But he ran, and now, August 1st, 2024, last month, he's launching a real estate fund. And this real estate fund, it's to decarbonize real estate, right? Right in line with Walmart and everyone else. And he raised a fund last year, $1 billion raise, or a couple of years ago, 2021, $1 billion raise, and he wanted to become the president in the Democratic Party's presidential nomination, right? But he was unsuccessful, and he says he's going to charge a 1.5% management fee and 15% carry over a 7% hurdle. The firm will commit $75 million to the fund, the document shows, and this is going to be around decarbonization. Last year, he took a plan. This is Bloomberg, saying that he's going to basically make his entire real estate portfolio net zero. $1 billion portfolio. This isn't some like mom and pop portfolio where they got like 30 units. It's a $1 billion portfolio. And he's running out there buying properties that are 2- and 3-story apartment buildings to where he can turn parking lots into locations to, gather energy, putting solar farms and things like that on the parking structures. So he was doing some pretty, futuristic things back then, and now we're actually moving in this direction. So the big question is, what are the odds that the smartest minds, the deepest pockets, and the most powerful people are all doing one thing that is not going to ultimately be the future? Like, what are the odds of that? I would say pretty close to zero, right? I would say pretty close to zero. Then I saw this. This is the Climate Task Force, and of course, sources are important. If anyone's showing you sources that are, from some random website, don't trust it. But when it's on whitehouse.gov, you're like, okay, we should probably look at this. You scroll down here, and you click in building sector. All right, let's look at the building sector. Received commitments from 25 governors representing approximately 60% of the U.S. economy and 55% of the U.S. population to eliminate emissions from buildings, including collectively quadrupling heat pump installations by the end of the decade. So they want to quadruple heat pump installations. Are they going to do that by knocking on doors, sending mailers, and having some sweet old lady knock on the door and say, you know what, it would really be great for me if you could upgrade your property? Or are they just going to say, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have to do this upgrade. And if you don't, insurance is going to be 2 times more expensive, or you're going to be hit with this violation. Is that possible? Well, when you look here, it says implementing and enforcing building energy regulations and mandatory performance standards for existing buildings. And when you look at who we are, and you look at, let's just look at, funders and partners, for example, then you'll start to see, some pretty big names like IKEA, you have George here, you have Amazon, right? You have FedEx, you have a lot of the same names, right? A lot of the same names that are, World Bank. Like this isn't like some fly-by-night, company. Like these are real powerful companies. And so you just start to kind of connect the dots here. Like President Joe Biden signed IRA into law to help the U.S. households save money on energy bills, improve energy efficiency, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and improve indoor air quality, right? So he has this new innovation. This is the standard that they're going to be, bringing forward. It's all right here, talking about how they're going to upgrade these properties. So this isn't it's like they're starting with supporting building decarbonization through tax credits and rebates, launching federal building performance standards and coalition, investing in tribal and state home energy efficient programs, creating household savings through energy efficiency by the end of 2022. So all of this is already in motion back then, and many would argue even before then, right? And now it's when it's going to start. So here, source energy.gov, right? Energy.gov. And they put this out December 7th, 2022. Beginning in 2025, these facilities will be required to reduce their on-site emissions associated to energy consumption on the buildings by 90% relative to 2003 levels. In the next 5 years, the standard will fully decarbonize on-site emissions in new federal buildings and major renovations. These measures will help advance the adoption of cleaner technologies for buildings that are necessary to achieve President Biden's goal of net zero, by 2045. Ridding pollution from our buildings and adopting clean energy, clean electricity, and some of the most cost-effective, future-oriented solutions we have to combat climate. This is from Jennifer Granholm, the U.S. Secretary of Energy. For the first time ever, DOE is establishing a firm timetable to reduce government's carbon footprint in new and existing facilities. So it's not just, federal buildings. This is, you have it here, they're saying it's our cities, you look at it's many cities all throughout America, a lot of the big cities, even Miami's here. Right? So you have Miami and LA and San Francisco, and you have Phoenix, Austin, Houston, New Orleans. So it doesn't matter if you're in Florida or Texas, it's all over. And so when you click on just buildings, energy and buildings, you'll see that it says right here, implementing and enforcing building energy regulations and mandatory performance standards, including measures to reduce emissions in buildings with benchmarking whole life cycles. So this is the change that we're going to be going into. And I thought this was very interesting, and it ties in so well. February 21st, 2024, it says that, this is Washington Post, saying why industry is blocking the push for more energy efficient homes. And here it says, there's a home builder says, we basically, in short, we want to make homes affordable. We build homes for about $250K, and adding these newfound costs are going to increase costs by about $20K, which is going to be passed on to the homeowner, and we don't want to do this to homeowners that can't afford it. That's what he said, Washington Post. Then, April 26th, it becomes law that no, you're doing it. And according to the National Association of Home Builders.org, here's the website, here's the logo, they say that it's going to add $31,000 to the price of a new home and can take up to 90 years for a buyer to realize the payback. This is what they are saying. This is not my opinion. So I've yet to give my opinion on this entire situation. We just look at facts. Facts are the only thing that really matters. When you see Amazon, when you see Walmart, when you see Meta, when you see, Microsoft, then you see the laws, and then you look at where they're investing their money, and then you just start to kind of connect the dots. You look at, Tom Steyer, and you start to look at all these, changes that are happening with building codes and building standards. You have to ask yourself, what are the odds that we are wrong? What are the odds? 50%? I would say that's extremely unrealistic. I would say the odds of being wrong are probably close to zero, because the laws are already signed in, billions and billions and billions of dollars already allocated of taxpayer money towards these solutions. Some would say, BlackRock is saying, trillions have already been allocated towards the new sustained economy. And that's what's happening. Everything's going to be about sustainability. Everything's going to be about energy, food, everything's about transportation. Everything is changing. Everything that we once knew about the economy in 2018, 2019 is behind us. We're walking into this new futuristic economy. And that's why, if you look at Tom Steyer, he's raising a real estate fund, which, if you look at it from just a dollars and cents perspective, it's smart, because these homeowners, or these motels, mom and pop hotels, they're sitting there. They're not going to be able to strike a 7-figure check to upgrade their property. They're just not. They're going to have to give the keys back to the bank. And when you have $2.7 trillion worth of debt that has to get refinanced, commercial real estate debt, which encompasses offices as well, and the office values have tanked, insurance and taxes are through the roof, and then you add in these newfound costs, there's going to be a lot of distress. And so when you got somebody like him coming forward, or somebody that can come up and say, look, we're going to raise 500 million, a billion, 10 billion, even more, and we're going to start to target these distressed assets. We're going to upgrade them, and then we're going to be able to get the tax benefits from this, and we'll be able to buy everything in 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents on the dollar. You start to look at it from a dollars and cents perspective, they're going to make a fortune, an absolute fortune. I think we're going to see a lot of real estate investors stepping forward and buying assets based on these new laws that are going to be coming forward. I think we're just going to see a lot of change in household wealth in this country. But I'm very, very, very curious as to what you think about all this. Let's have a conversation below. If you're a homeowner, are you looking forward to doing this? If you're a renter, are you looking forward to, when you buy a home, to do this? Or, if you are maybe just on the sidelines right now, what do you think about this? Let's have a conversation below. I mean, world's moving very, very, very fast. As she breaks down kind of everything that she's going through, this is her. I mean, you look at the image, like that's her, right? She goes through and says, yeah, I spent like 1.1 mil on this. They built it for this. It says, can you break down the energy savings? Our utility bills are projected to be about $917 a year with solar panels, or around $8 a month. The annual savings are $7,200, according to Top Build Firm. If you look at solar production away, it would be saving $5,300, $5,400 a year just by the offsets. And she kind of breaks it down and shows the home. It looks like a beautiful home, no doubt about it. But I'm just wondering how many people are gonna be able to afford it. Let's talk about this. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we would love to help you. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items in your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call for tomorrow. Catch you next video.